Hey guys, it's Viewmasters Reactions, and we're back with Campaign 2, Mighty Nein Time, Episode 130, The Calm Before the Storm. We just did the Patreon Hour exclusive, and it ended with a banger. We messaged Yusa. I expected there to either be zero response or some encrypted type response that we wouldn't quite understand, and that is leaning more towards what we got, but I didn't think we'd get something like we got. Matt says we hear hundreds/thousands of voices screaming, and we are to assume that he is projecting himself to the astral plane and being with the Somnovum, potentially. There also could be something to do with Trent Ickathon, or I mean, there's definitely something to do with what I just said, but I mean, Trent could be part of it. We had Trent going into the head of Caleb 10 minutes before we got to the point where we were messaging Yusa, so Trent is still getting in Caleb's head. Caleb said something back, we got no response with that. We also had our families basically understanding that we might not come back. Jester talked to Mariam, was like, we might die. I'm not trying to be a martyr, but I also have something I need to do, and like we are a group and we're gonna fight and we're gonna try our best, but there's a chance we might not come back. Marion was like, okay, understood, just, you know, be careful and you will return to me. And then Marion looked like she was going to make some moves on the gentleman. We had Veth talking with Yeza, and Yeza and her had a good talk. They said 2 weeks. We have a date. 2 weeks from now, we're going to make all this be a marriage again and not be running around risking our lives and dying every other day, or potentially dying every other day. This is episode 130. There's 141 episodes. The last two are very long. The last one is the longest of the entire campaign, but we're almost into single digits at this point. Let us do the 12 minutes for YouTube. I'm only going to do 12 minutes. We'll jump into the live stream on Friday, have over 2 hours if we do hit the 50 likes, which I'm sure we will. We'll have like 2 hours and 15, 2 hours, 20 minutes, and we'll also chat. If you want to see more of what I do, in the description of every video is a link for Patreon. You'll see the Patreon Hour exclusive for every episode of Campaign 2. You want your own requested short movie, the link is in the description where you can ask me to do so. That's how we get thousands of exclusives like Peaky Blinders, Doctor Who, Person of Interest, My Hero Academia, Toriko, and Bleach. We just finished House of the Dragon Season 2. Cobra Kai's finishing. Check it out in full unedited. If not, Campaign 2, Episode 130, Mighty Nein Time.
What's the matter? He's with the city.
Right after the break. He's with the city. This is right after the break.
I didn't hear him. I didn't
We're
hear
talking
anything.
Yusa.
I just heard
screams.
I just heard the screams. I just heard the city.
And we built this city.
Is the screams
on
just the city, or is it all? Where?
I don't know.
Where's the abyss?
The people living in the city. I don't know.
We don't exactly know.
The
Yeah,
astral
we
sea. Does
don't
all of the
know
astral
for
sea
sure.
stream or scream?
Well, no, we've been there before.
Yeah, and that.
So he was in the city.
I don't know. He didn't answer me.
We don't know for sure. We're
we
kind
know
of
anyone
guessing.
in
I mean,
Nicodranas
it's
who can go
educated guesses.
check on it?
You could
Whoa,
ask his
Windsworth.
yeah,
I could. Tomorrow.
tomorrow.
I have no more
Oh,
sending
man.
spells today. I guess. I mean, I can use a higher level.
When's fourth? When's fourth?
Wensworth. Wensworth. Isn't it
Wens.
Wensworth? Wensworth.
You know what?
Force Wentz.
Think about it. We are going to be going to sleep not too
Wens-
many hours away.
Fourth. Right?
Not much is
Wensford?
going to
Wensford.
change for
Is it
you, sir.
Wensford?
Between this moment and
Wensford. That
6 hours
sounds
from
more
now,
like-
if he is either in real trouble, well, he's up Schitt's Creek, yeah? So, save it. And we go. And if you don't need it for anything else, you can, you know, conserve your power and then,
Use it
and
right
then do
before we
it.
go to sleep.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
He couldn't be like separated from his body the way that Molly was.
That's
and
what I
he's
kind of was
just trapped
thinking.
mentally in the city. Could he? Could his body be broken?
I was thinking
What
exactly
do I know
this.
about that kind of thing?
Make an Arcana check.
I literally was like, how do we know that he isn't trapped or stuck or something is
Should have done the one
wrong?
that just fell on my iPad.
I can't just assume that, oh, well, he must
that
be
is,
in the city of
just a
screaming
16.
voices.
16.
I mean, it's possible, yes.
That rolled a 15 and she made a fluffernutter.
Veth made an asterisk
You
fluffernutter.
don't
That was
know
something we
too
needed
much,
to talk
of
about.
that scale of magic.
Asterisk
Astral projection
fluffernutter.
and astral travel to that degree is extremely powerful magic.
Rolled a natural
Especially
20.
project one spirit away from the
Did
body.
Sam Regal, a.k.a. Veth.
You're not sure, really. You could go one way or the other.
What did the voices sound like? Can you do your best approximation of it?
Screamings. Is Liam being serious?
Just a lot of that sort of thing. Nothing
Thousands
really
of
saying
times
anything,
over and
just
over.
screaming, sounding tortured.
All unhappy screams,
Pain.
or some like, hey, oh, it's great in here.
Pleasurable screams, happy
Drowned
screams.
out. You know, I don't know.
It's like the sounds of Action Park.
Left eye, oh, my concussion.
The sounds of action.
Something off from just a
Park.
huge Beatles concert.
If you're not familiar, I live very close to Action,
and we had the
or
dream
where it used to be.
the last
It's still
one, which
there
was
in some
Screams of
capacity. I forget
Pain,
what it's
Fear,
called.
Terror,
It might not
Agony.
be Action Park anymore. It probably isn't.
Screaming.
Good stuff. Good
But
stuff.
I
All right, well,
live very close.
we have a plan. We'll stick to
the
it.
famous
We'll
Action
check
Park.
with his friend. What do you have for me to get us to your home?
I remove.
We've
the
talked about it on live stream
dragonfly
before because
claw
of the movie
that runs through my armor.
and the fact that I'm old enough where I could have
That ought to
went
do it.
when it was still like
Is
chaotic.
this room okay? Do you mind if we depart from in here? Can I draw on your floor?
A couple of guys over there.
Do you mind if I draw on your floor?
Yeah, I imagine that's all right.
Okay.
Do you need us to move a table out of the way?
Yeah. that
That'd
would
be
helpful,
awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
You're welcome.
Odd, but awesome. Very,
They're
very
really out of
kind
their
you.
element in this whole, hosting thing. They move some tables out of the way.
Thaumaturgy to blow the dust on the ground, like away from the area that Caleb needs to draw on.
It is a cloud.
Is it really dust, though, or is the grimy, sticky stuff on the bottom of
still, like,
the bar floor?
Yeah, we just kicked up
be honest,
dust
we know
that's
what
probably
dust
been on that
blows
floor
Sticky
by the
There's no
grimiest
dust.
people for many moons.
Just that Laffy Taffy.
Now it's all in the air. I hope you covered your drink, because that shit's going to go in your
Okay,
drink.
so I put down a little bit of old parchment of mine, and I put the fabric that Caduceus has given me on top of it, and I start to, with chalk, draw out from there, from the center, and I spend my 5 to 10 doing that, and get to the very end.
As you're doing that,
Yeah.
if I may, Caduceus, can I just have a word with you?
Yeah.
Can I pull you aside for a second into one of these weird, stinky alcoves? Hey, I just want to say thank you again.
Oh, for being nice to Luke.
saving my son's life yesterday.
For a second, I was like, what are we doing with Caduceus? But
It was-
yeah,
it
very
was-
nice farting, talking
I mean,
farts.
it was everything to me, so thank you.
The least we can do. You raised a good kid, by the way.
Yeah. No, yeah, he's great. I want to. I feel like I owe you for this, and I want to come help you with whatever you're doing here. But also, I kind of want to stay, and so I thought I'd ask your advice. What you think I should do?
What? That's a weird thing to ask somebody. I want to help you, and I feel I owe
What's your
you,
biggest
but I also
fear?
want to stay. What do you think I should do? Of course, anybody would probably say, well, go home.
I would
They're not
say
going to
it's
be
not
like,
coming
well,
back,
stay
but-
and help me. No, like most people wouldn't, even if
Why?
they should say
It's
that.
It's not it.
I feel like
but
it's a weird thing to
I think
ask.
my biggest fear is for Luke to expect me to leave.
Well, any advice I have in that direction is obviously going to be a bit thin. I'm not a parent. I was a child once, though, so I have experience in that direction. Every parent eventually leaves, one way or another. And I suppose there's nothing you can do for a child to protect them from what the world will eventually do to them. I certainly can't imagine this is what my parents really wanted for me. But they allowed me to do this. They built me to do this and to be happy doing this. And my happiness has occasionally wavered, but it's held. And I feel like you've instilled that in your son. The dark times are going to come, and maybe you'll be there and maybe you won't. And you're working hard to make as few of them happen as possible, but I don't fear for his happiness in the long run. Well done.
And what about mine? Do I care?
I don't know. I think your parents really messed you up.
I would probably agree. Also, the being a goblin for a while probably didn't help.
I don't know. I don't know.
Do you need me right now?
I do. For what it's worth.
Is that what Veth needed?
But-
She just needed to hear that Caduceus
I think we
actually
all
needed
need
her.
each other's happiness.
I feel like most
also.
people would say, I
That's
could use you right
important.
now, but I also don't want you to feel you owe me.
No one of us is here to sacrifice for the others, really. We all have to be in it together. I can't even imagine.
When Sam moves a
What you're
certain
going
way,
through.
you just see cock on his shirt.
Well,
the Y
it's
is covered.
Much better than it could have been without you.
I appreciate that, but genuinely, I can't imagine how much it is and what a burden it is. And how much you sacrifice is everyone knows. More than others, I think, although I wouldn't say that out loud to everybody else.
I'll tell them.
I'll tell
figured.
them for you. I'll tell them what
Okay.
you said. It's not wrong. I get what
I
he's
need an end to
saying.
this too.
Because most people
I
are
don't think it's
loners.
here yet,
They don't
and
even
I'm
have
hoping to
significant
see it.
others, let alone a husband and a child. No
Well,
one has that.
I
Nobody.
needed you yesterday, and you need me
The next
today,
closest
and I
thing
guess
is
that's it.
Bo and Yasha are
For the
dating,
record, when this is over,
and Jester has a mom.
it's no debt. We're always here for each other, even if we're not in the middle of it. Happy to do it again a year from now, a decade from now, whenever. I'll be there.
Thanks. I appreciate it, Mr. Clay.
Mr. Clay.
Try not to blow me up again. That would be nice too. But
Sure.
that's what I'll ask.
I ask
Okay.
of you one thing.
I'll aim for somebody
Do
else.
not blow me up.
Ford's looking flammable.
He always does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Is that a
I
fidget spinner?
appreciate it.
All right, Caleb, you almost done?
That was great.
Yeah, are all
Well
the
done
tomatoes
by Travis. Was that a fidget spinner? I don't know
he
what else
asleep?
that could have been.
They're.
I haven't
present,
seen those in a
so, yeah,
while. They were
Luke is a
huge
little
for a while.
sleepy-eyed, but
It could have been when this aired.
All right, well, when
it could
I
have been 3
near
years
the
ago.
last few
I feel like it was a lot
strokes
longer
of
than
the
that, though.
sigils on the ground in chalk, Luke,
yeah.
come a little closer.
Aw. What's Liam
So
gonna
we're
or
going to
Caleb
go
gonna do?
again, but when we come back, we would very much like to stay. In the meantime, thank you for lending us your mother
Thanks,
We need
Luke.
to keep an eye on us.
Well, yeah, she's strong.
And don't worry, and I look over his shoulder at his father. We'll keep an eye on her too.
I trust.
Yes, he's a
Don't
good
do any-
dude.
Don't
What?
do any dangerous experiments while I'm
What if
gone.
Caleb looks over his shoulder and goes
Didn't
to
think of
Yeza, I'm gonna make
I
out
only
with
get
your
to do this with
girl.
you.
Obviously, he wouldn't say that.
And keep him close. Don't let him out of your sight.
I don't intend to.
He's done a pretty good job
And take
so
this.
far.
Take this potion, just in case. I don't know what could happen, but just take it.
Honey, I think you're probably going to need that more than I would if we're staying in here.
I get the intentions though. I would be worried
I'm
too.
not either, but you made us both a promise.
I mean, we are probably better off taking it, but I would probably have
You
offered
promised.
it and wanted them to have it as well.
It's a promise.
Like, what if
I'll be back.
something happens?
real
Anything
soon.
could happen. It'd
And,
be just nice to know they had it.
And then, whatever you want to do for the rest of your life.
Oh, I should start thinking now then.
You have 2
Yes.
weeks. Apparently, we have 2 weeks. We made a deal.
We'll get on it. I'll have Luke help me with some ideas. What? Don't worry about it now.
All right.
You ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, everybody, that is it for Mighty Nine. Time for episode 130, The Calm Before the Storm. It is 2:19:48 on the clock. I just did like 12 minutes. We have a little over an hour and 45 minutes. If we hit the 50 likes on the live stream, we will do another 30. We're going to easily have 2 hours and 20 minutes of content, if not more. We'll also talk for a year and a day. You know how we work. But we did not really get much of an explanation as to what the messaging from Yusa was. We kind of came up with the things we've already talked about, and we're not really sure. We didn't really confirm exactly one way or the other, but I like that we said our final goodbyes, at least to Luke and Yeza. I'm thinking we're good with Marion. Jester had a nice talk with her, and she went over to like the gentleman, but it could be like we want to say goodbye. We didn't actually say goodbye. We kind of made it clear what was going to happen. So I guess that would be good enough, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's a little something extra when we come back in the live stream. I love that Veth talked to Caduceus. At first I thought it was a little odd because I'm like, obviously, if you say, hey, I know you need my help, but I would love to help you. But at the same token, I also want to stay with my family because I've been running around adventuring and like shit's bad and we're all going to go to war. But like, you know, I'd also like to stay with my husband and my kid. Like, if you give someone that option, most people are going to say like, oh, go home, be with your family. Like, I got this. Don't worry. Even if they 100% need you, most people I feel like would not be selfish and not be like, well, I understand you miss your husband and your kid, but I need your help. I helped everybody else with their shit. Even if you are right. And that would be, you know, that would make sense for Caduceus to actually say, being as he has gone around selflessly helping everybody solve their thing, not asking for anything in return. So, like, I mean, I'm not saying that Veth meant anything bad by it or intentionally did it for bad reasons. I think it was just like Veth wanting to have a talk with Caduceus, and I think it came from a good place, is what I'm trying to say. I think Sam, aka Veth, wanted to talk to Caduceus because they wanted to express their appreciation like she did. Like, yo, you were really good with my kid and I know I owe you, but like, what do you feel about this? What's your advice? Do you think you need me? Do you think you could do this without me? Maybe they wanted to realistically know, like, hey, do you need me for this? Because if you don't, I'd like to chill, but I also like am totally fine with coming to help and everything else. I don't know. I think it was like an odd conversation to start, but then it did make sense towards the end. I feel like Caduceus handled it very well. I felt Caduceus gave a great explanation about everything that Veth asked. So either way, we have the live stream on Friday. We're down to the final 11 episodes after that. There will be 10 episodes left because we'll be jumping into 131 on Friday, most likely, which will give us the final 10 episodes. You guys let me know what you think. You want to see more of what I do. In the description is the link for Patreon. You'll see the Patreon hour exclusive for every episode of Campaign 2. You want your own requested show or movie, there's a tier level on Patreon. You could ask me to do so. That's how we get thousands of exclusives like Peaky Blinders, Doctor Who, Person of Interest, Eureka, Winona Earp, and the Shield Jackie Chan movies every month. We just finished House of the Dragon Season 2, Cobra Kai and Stranger Things final season, so many other things, full unedited. Check it out. If not, comments down below, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.